At this session of Under the Apple Tree with Bob Kenney, I sit down with Leslie and Paul Cameron at the Cameron Winery and Cidery up in Northfield, Massachusetts. Just 5 miles from the Vermont and New Hampshire borders, their winery and cidery attract people eager to try their great wines and, most importantly, to sample their most delicious ciders. So pour yourself a chilled glass of cider, sit back and enjoy our conversation. Don't forget to like the channel and subscribe. Cheers. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us for another session of Under the Apple Tree with Bob Kenney. Today I'm here with Paul and Leslie Cameron up at Cameron's Winery and Cidery up in Northfield, Massachusetts. Paul and Leslie?
Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for opening your door. Appreciate it very, very much. Very enjoyable. Now, we're here at the facility, which I know has a winery, a catering business, a store, etc. So tell us about the facility here.
So yeah, like you're saying, it's a winery, a store. We have a cheese shop, charcuterie boards, things like that. We have a catering company. We do dinners, obviously make cider and wine, and we have a brewery also. We brew beer.
Forgot about the brewery, yeah. How long have you had the facility?
The winery has been in business for 13 years now.
It's not 13.
So, and the brewery is in their third year.
How about cider?
Cider have been doing right along with the wine.
With the wine, okay.
Yes.
You were talking to me earlier about some events that you guys have run, and you're drawing people from basically all over, right? We're really close to New Hampshire and Vermont, as well as being located in Massachusetts.
I mean, the borders of New Hampshire and Vermont are only like 5 miles from us. We have people coming up from Connecticut, New Jersey, all over. We have people that come out every year from Ohio that go camping up in the area in New Hampshire, and they come here the whole time they're up. We have a lot of different customers.
Wonderful. How did you get into the cider business?
Cider is wine. So Paul's been making wine for about 28 years.
Okay.
And so to us, cider is 50% more apples makes it a cider. So it's a wine that's made up of 50% or more apples.
And I know you said you've been making it for a long time. When did it become commercial? 2012? Okay.
November 16th.
You get the day.
It was her birthday.
Oh, all right. What a nice present.
I think she was only 20. I don't think she was old enough to drink.
That's exactly right.
Okay,
He's
I
such
hear.
a smart man.
And so where do you ferment your cider then?
It's all done here.
Apples. Where do you get them from? And do you get them on your property or local?
The trees on the property, we planted 12 apple trees when we bought the place. They're still young. Mm-hmm. They're starting to produce now, but
Okay.
Leslie uses those mostly for making jams or jellies or sometimes dessert. We'll get into the cider days later, and she uses it for that a lot. But we get our apples from...
We have associated with 22, 23 different farms and vineyards.
Awesome.
Western Mass, right down from Belchertown all the way up to Ashfield, Mass.
So most of them are all from Massachusetts then, your
Yeah.
apples? Okay. You press them here?
Yep.
Okay. That's a job in itself.
To me,
It's
that's the
kinda
fun part.
Okay.
Yeah.
We do a demonstration every year. We have an old cider press. Well, it's a new one, but it's similar to the old ones where you do it all by hand.
Okay.
We have the people that are here for the function that's going on. We coax them into going up there and pressing apples. And they have a ball doing
Yeah,
that.
sure. So
You know, grind them first, then they go into the press. You got to
Yeah.
press it by hand, and they have a ball doing it. We let them taste the cider when they press it, but then we take all the rest of that and we do ferment it later.
that's
And
awesome.
Usually that night.
At the end of the day, when you're done pressing and you're fermenting, how many styles will you be making?
Right now we have 63 different ciders.
63. Okay.
Yeah, and that includes sort of variants of maybe one kind. But the only time you have to have labels. But if we do something crazy with the cider, we're probably going to have to
Sure.
submit a formula for that. But we've got a bunch of different labels out there because our ciders change every year. How they are. We usually know where the apples are from based on the name. Back of it like that, and we just take really good notes.
Give me a couple of names.
The ugly drop, which you're going to try.
Okay.
That's from all the ugly apples that sitting on the ground. We actually ferment those. My husband is he's from his family is Scottish. Mine's Irish, so we're the Micmacs. We fight over every year whether it's going to be a Micduff or a Macduff. They all tell a story. All of our wines and our ciders, and they all tell a story about a favorite memory, or a favorite person that inspired a memory.
That's cool. And who makes a decision on what style you're going to make this year? Two of you,
Yeah.
or
No,
okay?
just us.
When you make something before you decide it's going to become commercial, is that also just you guys tasting it and
It's always
saying it's
commercial.
okay?
It's always coming.
Always commercial. Okay, no matter what.
No matter what.
Did you ever make anything that wasn't well accepted?
Yes, well, before we started selling it, we actually were making this stuff a long time before we actually opened. So we had a lot of time that we could really screw it up,
Okay.
you know?
And
before-
find out the
before
good, the
we
bad.
opened.
Yeah, okay, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
and by that point, a lot of our friends, you know, they would come by and they all tried it and they would tell us. And
It's sold in bottles,
As you see it right there.
750s.
So
okay.
we do have some howlers out there, so they're 32-ounce refillables.
Okay,
I don't know how many we've sold with.
that's great.
And if they bring those back, we will refill those for
Okay.
a cheaper price.
Okay,
These ones, the 750s, we don't refill.
okay,
Our cider, we don't actually can it. We don't wholesale our cider anywhere.
and you have draft here as well, right?
They're all on draft. We don't bottle any of them beforehand, except for certain functions. I might bottle up like 6 of each kind and have them in the refrigerator in case people want to, and we're too busy
Sure.
to stop and fill. We'll have those bottled up so they can just grab them and go if they want. But most of the time, we bottle them as you want them.
Okay.
So they're ice cold when you get them. And if we're doing a still cider, we'll bottle all those because we can't put it in the kegerator. It's not
Sure.
gonna come out unless
Sure.
you have CO2 behind it.
The styles that you do make, some are carbonated, some are not.
Exactly. We do more sparkling than the still ones, but
Any reason why? For
it's basically
personal
for our
choice?
customer base.
Okay.
That's what they seem to like. They like the little bubbles in it. This one here that we're tasting now is
Really good.
all Baldwin. It's on the drier side,
Mhm.
lightly carbonated. It's not super carbonated. You know,
it's very good.
unfortunately, I'm a dry cider, dry wine, dry everything.
Me too.
But most of our customer base like it a little sweeter. Most of them are a little bit on the sweeter side, but they're still good.
The industry, people's stepping stone into it is usually a sweeter style cider. And having spent a lifetime in the beer business, you've seen people come in with like wheat beers and then gradually get up to double IPAs as their taste buds grow. And I think with cider, it's the same way. I mean, to me, the dry ciders are just absolutely delicious.
They're all the same. I mean, the wine, the cider, the beer, it's perfect. People come in and there's certain things they want. I mean, I have quite a customer base on the brewery that comes for the Pilsner beer. Well, I tell everybody that's called training wheels. As soon as you figure out how to drink that, I'll teach you how to drink the good
Yeah,
stuff.
absolutely.
And you see people that come in and all of a sudden now they're drinking stouts. And it's the same in the wine. The wine is, they come in, they like the sweet blackberry wine. And all of a sudden they're like, oh, I really don't like it. It's kind of sweet for me. And
There you go.
next thing you know, they're drinking something on the drier side. With the cider, the same exact thing. We do have a lot of people like the sweeter stuff, so we try to make what they want.
Sure.
We make a blackberry cider,
65-35.
65-35 with the blackberry cider.
And with the blackberries, are those local as well?
Yes.
You guys or someone else?
I don't have any blackberries here.
So what other fruit do you grow on
I
your
have
property?
blueberries. I have 12 blueberry bushes, 12 apple trees. But we have some black raspberries. Last year, we planted a few blackberries to see if we can get them to do good here.
Okay.
Most of what we put in our alcohol, though, is because of the volume, because of how much we make, as we're, this is our 13th year, we get from local farms.
Okay.
Except for like 218 different wines. We make 9 different families. So we make grape wines, we do citrus, we do dark fruits, light fruits, hard fruits, obviously, including, cider. And we do chocolate, maple, vegetable, and honey. We make wine all year, depending on the season. Right now, we're working on citrus.
In the cider world, do you only bottle it in fall?
No, we
All year round?
well, because some of it comes ready at different times,
Okay.
depending on which one you're making.
And what's the average time that it sits?
It all depends. I mean, it's really, really flexible. If you're going to make a red raspberry cider, it's going to sit longer. So you probably start it at the end of October, say maybe around, because we use a lot of Honeycrisp in that, and it sits with the raspberries, and it takes longer with the red raspberries. And you're going to remember that raspberries are sort of acidic process that we use. It takes a little longer for it to sort of settle out.
A little bit more about your property. I know there's a big outside component to it, right? When the weather's great, or even maybe when the weather's not so great.
Even when it's not so great, all the tables out there, well, not all of them, but we have 5 fire tables that are propane. And then the brewery, we have 4 fire pit
Yep.
And you can sit around that, and I'll light fires.
If I'm at the brewery, can I get a cider? Okay.
Anything you want.
Anyone on the property? Cool.
So the
Great.
whole property is licensed. Tell everybody you can go anywhere you want, except for in a house or in the 69 Cougar that's out there.
Okay. Okay. Very good. As a percentage, I know you're doing wine and cider. How much wine, how much cider? Is the wine bigger than the cider?
Oh, yeah. The
Well,
wine
because
is-
cider's part of the wine.
So it's not really separated that in that way.
No. Yeah, I think the wine customer base is just a little larger than
I think it is normally.
Be surprised, though.
Because the whole is greater than the sort of the sum of the parts, kind of speaking,
Sure.
right? And cider just defines the type of wine it actually is.
And I haven't seen numbers lately, but last set of numbers, it was only 1% of the alcohol that's consumed in the country
Oh, we
was
sell a lot of cider.
which is great to see, because I think that's what more and more people starting to take a look at it. A lot of people think that that big national guy is what cider is, and there's just so much better cider out there than.
I think that our cider sales are about 30% of our wine sales.
Okay, that's a good number.
Clarifies it. And every year it grows a little bit more, right?
good.
I'll tell you, like right now, Paul and I absolutely did not expect to be busy this time of year. Started in November, like around Thanksgiving, and we were just busier than we thought. And we thought, wow, it's kind of busy, right? So we had to pull some of our wines that we had already getting ready for Christmas. Had to pull some of that and some
Forward.
of our ciders. We were like, oh my goodness, we're starting to pull our New Year's. New Year's, we're pulling Valentine wines.
Nice
if you
problem.
look at our downstairs inventory, what's on the floor. So, I mean, as far as our ciders, we usually have anywhere from 3 to 6 on tap. Probably 2 weeks ago, right now we're pulling right out of our kegs.
Great.
Yeah.
That's great.
So it's ciders. There's a lot of cider enthusiasts around.
I think in this area especially.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
There's
okay.
a lot of excitement about it.
Are there other cideries around?
Oh yeah.
In the
Oh, this is
neighborhood? Okay,
wonderful
yeah,
cideries.
that's good. Do you also serve flights?
We do.
Okay, so people they have the opportunity to do cider and wines
They
at
can
the
mix
same
them.
time? Okay.
Or they can just do cider.
Yeah, great way to sample, make a decision, and then buy a bottle to go home, right? I know that your ciders have won medals. Where?
Big E. We've got a bunch of ciders, medals, the ciders. Some of the fruit ciders, the blackberry cider. Last year we got, I think it was Macduff and Shy Girl. When we got to compete with our wine last year. The year before we took best wine in the Northeast region, premier exhibitor. We got double golds, a couple of golds. We got a bunch of silvers and some bronze. A lot of bling. Then last year we didn't, but we sent a couple of ciders off. Shy Girl and was it the other one? Oh no, it was Macduff. And they both got medals. Absolutely delicious.
One was a silver, one was a bronze.
Congratulations with all the cideries that I know submit to the Big E.
Every time that we do enter ciders,
We win.
we actually win a couple of medals.
So,
We don't
yeah.
always send the cider because Big E is more of a wine competition than the cider.
The last few years, we've been sending ciders, and we do crazy ciders. We make what's called Love Potion, which
Okay.
is orange and ginger.
Okay.
There's wild apples that we get, just mix of apples, and
Yeah.
we just ferment it all together. That's
So
a big seller.
Is that an experiment at the very beginning, or was that something you kind of knew what was?
I
You pointed at you.
just tasted
It's her.
it. I just said, no, I mean, right, when we tasted it, and I'm like, boy, this would be so good with some, this and that. And
Yeah.
so I took a little amount, and we have these little, the bags that you put tea in.
Sure.
Grade your ginger and your
Love ginger.
we use orange zest. You sort of infuse it while you're fermenting it during primary, and then see if you like it. You have to keep trying it to make sure. But yeah, you're really okay.
That's-
It's not fermented yet.
Yeah. So is she the experimenter?
She comes up with all kinds of ideas.
Okay.
She's the idea girl.
That's a pretty good seller. When we have that on, we have what's called the Equinox. We usually have it. 5 is our Equinox cider. So we usually usually comes ready right around this time of year.
Okay.
And when we're fermenting that, this is an old place. You can see it's got sash windows, so it's a little cooler, and those are sitting down towards the back where the windows are, so it's a little cooler. It's a slower fermentation. It's a wonderful mix of apples. It comes out, you'll try it and see, maybe you'll like it, but that's called the Equinox, and that
Okay.
we have to celebrate the spring. And we do that every year. We've done that for a while now. No, I mean, we've done that mix of apples, but that fermentation style with those apples, this is only our second year doing it like that.
Cool. Now, the facility that we're in, talk to me about the barn here, because this is a really beautiful place.
Okay, so the barn is, the house and the barn are 200 years old.
Wow.
Built 1824, all post and beam. It's been obviously standing for 200 years.
Yeah, say the least.
So when we bought the place, we had to do quite a bit of a renovation on it to make it like it is. And the floors were here, the railings were here, but they had chicken wire all over them.
Burlap bags.
Burlap bags glued to the wall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was kind of rough. Leslie, myself, and a bunch of our friends,
I don't know why they don't hide from us.
we renovated during the COVID.
Yeah, we had fun renovating. It was a lot of work, and it was scary to me. I mean,
But this is all original, right? Post and
The
bean?
Post and Bean,
Post and
definitely,
Bean,
yeah.
Wow. 3 stories, right?
3 stories.
Okay. You do dinners?
We do.
Okay.
yeah, every month.
Okay. Every month.
It's called
Okay.
the 18, the catering company is called the 1824. So just so you know, so we own that and we make all the food ourselves. The whole thing is when you went to someone's house in 1824 and they fed you a meal,
Yeah.
you had to entertain them. Call upon our guests to tell us a story, to sing us a song, or tell us a joke. We get a lot of dad jokes, I know. The stories are
That is
hysterical.
cool.
And they don't have to. We ask them to. It's a lot of fun. And you really have this feeling, back in 1824, if you think about it, they're going to pull your carriage in, they're going to
Sure.
take care of your horses. And now with these, having the catering company, we do 5-course meals.
Paired with your wines or ciders
Nope.
or no?
No,
Okay.
no. You know why? If you're a dry red person, you're not going to want what we think goes with a meal, like
Sure.
a sweeter one.
I hear you.
So what we do is we have the 5 courses, and then people order their alcohol ahead of time. So when they arrive, their table's ready, their alcohol's sitting on the table,
Oh.
and they can hang out for a little bit.
Yeah. Then at the end is when you have to tell a story,
All
or is it
during
in the
the
middle?
meal.
All during the
Just let
meal.
us know.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, somebody would just stand. Sometimes they don't even tell us. They just stand up and
Okay.
just start reciting the story.
That is
It's
great.
funny as you can't believe
That's
it. And
hilarious.
that's how you really realize how different people live from you.
Sure.
And sometimes you're thankful for that. No, just kidding.
You're right.
No, I'm really kidding. But the stories they tell.
That's great.
One time I remember somebody called us up and they said, "Does it have to be a true story?" I said, "It can be any story you want." Yeah.
It's unique. I've never heard that. One of the events you guys do is what's listed on your website as Franklin County Cider Days. And what's that all about? As we enjoy some pizza that you guys make, it's really good.
Well, Franklin County Cider Days was started by Bill Maloney, his family, and it's an old cidery, one of the oldest ones in the area. It started with, they would have like a town hall, they get together up at the town hall and everybody would try amateur ciders, and it's a
Okay.
blast. And my husband and I used to go all the time. Long before we ever thought about opening a winery,
Okay.
we were making it and we wanted to go try one of them. And then it grew. There's a liquor store in Greenfield and they would have all the commercial cider and you could go through and do a tasting. And they have all kinds of, they used to do a big salon, put the ciders from all different places. That wasn't really local so much,
Okay.
And time went and it changed with the times. It was very different going through COVID times. Sort of metamorphosizes with the landscape, the economic and social landscape of our time, right?
Sure.
So Leslie is actually on the committee with Cider Days,
Okay.
putting it all together for this year coming up.
And when is it?
It's the first weekend in November.
Okay.
It kicks off Halloween
Yeah.
night this year.
And
Okay.
there's some really nice cideries in the other area, but there's also a place called Clarkdale Apples, and they have apples and pears and huge orchard. And as part of it, they don't make anything hard, but their ciders are delicious. They just do, Ben Clark and his family, been doing it for a long time. They do a wonderful job. I think Field does a good job too. And then there's a place, Pine Hill Orchard.
So it's not in one place. It's
Some of
these-
the-
Oh, no, there's a map that you can follow
Okay.
around.
Yeah, it's a
all the
whole
different-
map. You can-
all the cideries or anybody that's involved in it, they have
Right.
events going on the whole weekend.
at their place.
Yeah, so you
Okay.
can pick and choose
Okay.
what you
Yeah.
would like to go to.
Sure.
Our friends up the road that have a brewery, Worcester Farm, they have some cider too. All people showcase what they have for ciders.
Now, what do you guys do for it?
Oh my God, are you kidding me? We are so into it.
The event girl.
We have
Okay.
a special cider. You could just do the whole event right here.
Okay.
We recommend it.
I'm sure you would.
We have our Friday night pairing. This year usually we have 9 ciders and 9 foods. It's, everybody yells and cheers. It's really loud. The place is usually packed. This year we're excited because we're going to have 12 for the tasting.
Oh.
And it actually falls on Halloween, so we're going to
Yeah.
have a spectacular theme. Then on Saturdays, we have a full press demonstration that you can participate in. We have a class that you can learn all about what to do with your apples,
Okay.
how to cook with them, and how to do jams, jellies, but more importantly, how to do your ciders. And you can also learn how to do fermented fruit breads, which are quite yummy.
Excellent. And
And the whole time, on Saturday and Sunday. We have usually chicken soup because it might be a rainy, cool day, and we'll have chicken soup, and we have cider dogs.
Which we're famous for.
Cider dogs.
Ah.
Cider,
Okay.
so hot dogs cooked in apple cider.
Awesome.
They are
They're
absolutely
scorched, and we
delicious.
scorch them.
Okay.
The apple cider. So it's scorched, so it caramelizes, and then it
Okay.
covers the hot dog with this delicious, that even they're big hot dogs. Those are really popular. We
People
have,
come back for those every year.
we have like a soup tent, so we have chili, and we have
Yeah.
chicken soup and different
Yeah.
things, because it's usually pretty cold.
Cold at that time of the year.
You know,
Sure.
we
Snow on the
always have
ground.
music. We have an authentic cowboy band that plays.
Okay.
All cowboy music, and sometimes we have pirate music. We have all different events going on, educational classes, things that people can participate and learn about the different apples that they have.
Okay.
We have like 12 ciders on tap, usually only 3 up here, the rest of them are outdoors. So we have usually 2 or 3 bartenders
bar.
outdoors.
Outside.
And then 1 or 2 up here. We also have a bartender in for the beer.
Sure.
But all 12 ciders and all of our wines and all of our beers, everything is made by us.
If somebody wants to do a flight, they can do a flight of ciders that
Yeah.
day
Right
also.
outside. Yeah, sure.
So
It's awesome.
they can choose 3 and they
Yeah.
write them down and they get,
Yeah.
it equals a glass of cider. So they have a lot of fun.
I always believed we live in a cold environment, quote unquote, at that time of the year. We do things outside. I mean,
We have fires going.
yeah, sure, you get the
Bunch of
fire pits. Yeah,
campfires and
cool.
Yeah, I-
games.
I have one guy
Face painting.
that's all he does. He walks around and keeps the fires going outside.
It's great.
A friend of ours.
Yeah.
We have some friends that do really good crafts. Like we have one friend that does these gorgeous cutting boards, and
Mm-hmm.
somebody else does jewelry. So we have like little
All
like,
that set
vendors
up. Yeah,
like
sure.
that.
It's great. How many people do you get?
Between 400 and 500.
Wow.
Each day.
Each day. Wow.
It's a blast. It's so fun. And this is it's our 10th year participating.
Okay.
Sunday morning we
We
do
do
a
have,
A breakfast.
oh my
Okay.
God, pancakes and there's topping with apples, and it's made with maple syrup. It's really, and you can have like a maple cider with it. And that's what we make, a pumpkin cider that's delicious. And we have a maple cider. Yeah, so that's Sunday morning. We're usually packed. We were packed. This was our
Okay.
first year.
pancake, sausage, bacon,
Yeah.
Topping.
and
Awesome.
the topping she makes with apples. It's almost like an apple pie topping on the pancakes.
That's great.
It's so fun.
That's great.
It's so much fun. All our friends come down. The same friends that helped us renovate this, they all
Come back.
They all
Sure.
work. They come
Oh, they
back.
work. Yeah.
Well, we've had them kids trained so they
Yeah.
can come up and they tend bar
But
for
yeah,
us.
That's great. Yeah.
They do. They take tickets.
So it frees Leslie and I up so Leslie can be running around
Yeah.
talking to people,
That's great.
and I'll be
Such a-
out at the cider press. So.
That's
It's
great.
so much fun.
Yeah.
And I
Sounds
know I'm
like it.
supposed to just call it cider days, but it's always going to be Franklin cider days
Yeah.
today.
And it's just a weekend? Or
Yeah.
is it?
Just for
Okay.
the
We
weekend.
stretch it out.
Okay,
We
that's
actually,
cool.
Paul and I have been
We
stretching it
started
out
the
for
Friday,
years.
so
Yeah.
now they've stretched it out to Friday now also.
And
Okay.
they're talking about Thursday events. And this, like
Wow.
I said, this
Wow.
all different cider places,
Mhm.
you know, that you can go different places.
Yeah.
It's a blast.
That sounds
You
like
want
fun.
to see people that are interested in cider.
Yeah, come up here.
You come to that. They're here for it, and that's all they care about.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
It's a
all
cider,
about cider
it's-
that day.
It's awesome.
All about cider.
Wonderful to hear that something like that is going on here. I didn't realize that.
Places in Vermont that are involved in it now.
Really?
So yeah, they've opened it up to more people.
Cider we're
Granny Smith.
drinking now.
It's a still Granny Smith. And the reason that we make, this is actually kind of popular, people really like it, right around Easter time, with ham and
Yeah.
sweet potatoes and all of that. I think it's important
Goodness,
to point out,
flavor.
like one of the things I really love about our wine, you know, people come in and they really, I love it. I mean, it's wonderful that people love cider, but I also think sometimes they get stuck by thinking, you know, oh, it's going to use champagne use and heirloom apples. Well, you know, not in stay in business, you know,
Yeah.
you're going to use what you get. So like for Paul and I, we travel all up and down, you know, Western Mass.
Mhm.
And the only thing that we do is we make sure that what we get is really good.
Oh gosh, remember when we went out to Ashfield to get apples? I was walking around out here with just like almost a
I
t-shirt.
get sandals on.
It was so nice out.
Yeah.
We jumped in the minivan instead of taking my truck, which is four-wheel drive. We get out to Ashfield, it's snowing.
Oh no, it's like getting darker and darker.
We had to go down a hill, like a dirt road hill like this,
Yeah.
with the snow and ice and everything. God, I wish I had my truck now.
You know, you're getting out there. I felt ridiculous. I'm getting out to this place. And the lady's looking at me, and here I am with sandals.
Yeah,
and,
it's,
you know, a little skirt I was wearing, and I just looked ridiculous.
And that's when you went out to seek out their apples? Is
Yeah,
that what
Yeah,
it was?
we went to pick up apples.
Oh, pick up apples.
We had ordered them. We went out there to pick them up. Like I said, we left here. I was wearing a t-shirt. It was warm.
And we didn't have any.
That's
We get
good.
up there and it's like it was snowing.
I love it.
I mean, it's not that far from
Yeah.
here, but it's up in the hills. We
Yeah.
had the hill towns around around here, that's where most of the apples are growing.
But we get a lot, we get them down here.
Yeah, we get them down south too, in Belchertown, Granby, and
Yep.
It's a fun time of year because, grape season's going on and the apples are coming ready and you're everywhere at the same time. And there's always a note on our door, sorry, picking grapes, sorry, getting apples.
Yeah, it's great.
And we have to try to, people get mad if I forget to post it on the website. So
That's
I
great.
gotta just make sure I take care of that.
yeah, usually I'm driving and she posts them.
Call you when
Sure,
when
where
you
are
have
you?
to go.
Yeah.
For the grapes.
Yeah,
you
when
have
it's
to-
when it's ready.
when it's
Sure.
ready, yeah.
Does gluten-free have an impact?
Actually, yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We have a lot of gluten-free customers that come here, and they know the cider is gluten-free. The wine is also gluten-free, and a lot of our foods are made gluten-free. So
Like this.
Leslie makes all the rolls and breads, and everything is homemade when they come for a meal. She actually makes crackers, homemade crackers for our shop.
Cool.
So if you want to get cheese and crackers,
Sure.
you're buying crackers that Leslie makes.
That's
And
cool.
she makes them gluten-free. I make gluten-free beer also. I have
Okay.
a lot of customers that come just for the gluten-free beer.
And the cider, I actually think that's one reason that cider is gaining popularity because of the food allergies. And the other thing is, there's different ciders to have. You can have a still cider like this, or you can have like a sparkling cider, which is what we had before this. You take your apples, your basic apples, and you're going to ferment between anywhere from 5 to 7, right? And you can re-ferment them, bring your alcohol up, sparkle them, or you can just leave them. Get apples from Ashfield. The potential alcohol could be 7% or a little bit higher, depending on when you're getting them,
Yeah, we did a
Sugar
cider
percent.
pressing. We had got the apples from Ashfield for the
You
cider
came in at
day.
7.
Yeah, I pressed them and I checked it right away. It was 7.
7. Okay.
Yeah, we fermented them that night,
Yeah.
got them going.
Some mistakes that people make when they're making cider is they expect it to come out the same every single year. And so they use the same recipe. We usually do it what's considered what we call sort of formula based, where everything's dependent on what our decisions are based on what's in front of us at that time. We don't always pitch yeast. Sometimes we do. A lot of times they don't understand the difference between having something sweet and having something be fruit forward. You're looking at your acidity. You have so many things to think about. And so you're going to make a decision. You could choose to pitch a yeast, or you could do it as it is and then re-ferment it at the end. So there's different things you can do.
Sure.
So it all depends on what's in front of you. And one of the things that Paul's been making beer, forever probably. He never makes his beers the same. It's all how it comes out that particular day. And it's the same with the wines. We have a very short growing season. The shorter the growing season, the higher the acids will be.
Sure.
And a lot of the other fruits too. So
And what you were saying too is that year to year, it's weather dependent.
I know that the guys that are doing the sugaring right now, they're saying that the sap doesn't have as much sugar in it as it did last year. So it's going to be a little different maple syrup this year. And maybe that will change. That might change as the weather changes a little bit. They might get some more of the sugar.
But yeah, no, it's so dependent on
everything,
on the weather. Yeah, especially now.
we have a lot of people call us and ask us questions. They're having problems with something. I ask them, okay, what have you done so far?
Sure.
They always tell me the same. People, even though they're from different places, they seem to tell me sort of the same things that create the same kind of problems. So I think just having an expectation is that you're going to look at what you have, eat the apples, and then go making decisions from there. You have to ask yourself, how do you see the cider being based on what you have in front of you?
In front of you. Sure. So coming here, family friendly?
Yeah.
Family, kids invited?
Well, we don't have the sockets. We don't have little plastic things in the sockets, and we have a lot of stairs and see kids with you.
Yeah, more than happy to have them
But
here.
great outdoor yard. We have a lot of families come.
So, if somebody shows up and they get the kids, we don't have like a swing set out there, but, I got my cornhole games. I'll bring those out.
Okay,
Giant
cool.
Jenga so they can play with that,
We
so the kids go out there and have a ball.
Yeah. Pets? No.
No.
Okay. You said food. Rentals, that people can rent the facility, correct? Have parties?
They
or-
can.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Weddings or?
We do all kinds of events.
We haven't done
Okay.
a wedding yet. A lot of
Birthday-
showers.
Retirement parties,
Okay.
birthday parties. We
Cool.
do family reunions. Like somebody can call us, and we do a lot of this. They call up and they're doing like maybe a life celebration, and they order the person's favorite meal, and we create the food the meal
If they
based on
want.
that, and they can pick
That's
out what they
cool.
want, and they sit there, and it's all set up family style, and so we do a lot of that.
Cool.
A lot of arts, but not like we have a basket workshop coming up.
Yeah, I was going to ask about entertainment, is those kind of workshops, but you mentioned earlier when Cider Day is here that there's a band outside. Do you do other music?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Last Saturday, we the Irish dinner, the St. Patrick's Day dinner, and we had Irish music. But,
Okay.
we had a band doing Irish
Yeah.
music live the whole night.
You're not a nightclub.
A place where you come and you can pick up a picnic dinner, sit out in the yard with a nice bottle of wine,
Okay.
and listen to some nice local guy playing.
Yeah, that's
local.
exactly.
Romantic.
Especially in the nicer weather, right? We've been playing over in the pub once in a while on a Saturday, but on the nicer when the nicer weather's here, it's our neighbor. And he comes over with his guitar and they'll sit there and play.
Awesome.
Anything you can
Everywhere.
think of.
Yeah.
He does Jimmy Buffett. He does Frank Sinatra. He's all over the place.
We have Corky and Ken, and they've been, out in this area forever. They're really very talented. They can play almost anything that you can think of.
Okay.
Brother and sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's sweet.
their whole family is musical.
Ken plays a regular guitar, then he plays.
He plays everything. We have Terry, who does a lot of Celtic music, and people that we've known for years that have played here.
Sure.
I just don't know why they're not in Hollywood.
Social media. Obviously, that's your domain.
Well, I don't go on it.
Somebody can.
And so, where do people find you?
Cameron'sWinery.com, BackroomBrewingCompany.com.
And the brewing company again?
The Backroom Brewing.
Backroom. Okay. So, what else do you want people to know about Cameron's Winery and Cidery?
I think that it's the kind of place where you come and spend an afternoon and never forget. Once you come here, you become a regular. We feel like they met here, and then they got married, and then they had kids here. So we're certainly
No, they didn't have him here.
no, they didn't. They bring their kids here,
Awesome.
and we just can't believe that they're getting older. And then we look at each other and go, "Oh, yeah." Special is because we're small, and when you come in here, you're going to talk to not just a bartender.
Sure.
You're going to talk about the people who pick the fruit,
Yep.
who process the fruit, who made the cider, the wine,
That's
the
cool.
beer, and you're going to talk to them. You can ask them, it's us.
Yep.
We're not too crowded, and we always want to talk about it. And so it's very personal with us. A lot of times, my husband and I, we love to go to different wineries and everything. And sometimes we notice that there's something missing. And I think it's that personal touch, that being able to sit down and talk to the winemaker. And because to do this for a living, to get up at 2:00 in the morning and move the wine,
God
we're very
bless you.
connected to
Yeah,
this.
absolutely. Sure.
Every so many hours,
It's a great
like
story.
freezing to death. And it's your turn. No, it's my,
Yep.
and then somebody's going to have to come out here, move the wine around, and then run back in, in the pink fuzzy slippers. And usually it's Paul. So that's what makes, when you come here, it's a place that you never forget, that stays with you. And once you come here, you'll always come back. That's what
Awesome.
makes, I like about us.
The best part about this area is campgrounds all over the place. So people come out and they go camping. Now they're not driving back to Boston.
Yeah.
They can come up, they can have a couple of glasses of wine, grab a bottle and go back to the campsite. There's a bed and breakfast right down
It's a
the
very
road.
romantic,
Very nice.
yeah, right
Okay.
in town.
Oh, about 3-4 miles from here, there's a motel, and it's a
really
nice
cute.
place.
And then, but around here, but a lot of people come to go hiking.
Sure.
We have Mount Grace, which is beautiful. All here in Northfield, we have so much. So if you do drive from the beginning of our town and you drove right down 63, you have Gracie's Farm, you have homemade jams and food and all kinds of artwork, and all done by the local
sure.
people. So all small businesses,
Yeah.
things that you can't
Cool.
find anyplace else. And then you've got Four Star Farm, which is right down the road, and they have wine and cider also.
They're actually one of the
biggest
largest
hockey
hop growing New England.
I would say the whole Northeast region. And it's very pretty too.
Cool.
It's a nice place to go.
I want to thank you for opening the doors, giving us the time, the education, and really a good PR for the Northfield area by far.
No, you have a few more ciders to try.
Believe me, I will. And I'm going to thank Cousin Jack
Yes,
for
absolutely.
opening up.
Cheers.
But
Jack.
cheers. Thank you guys for opening the door. Very, very much appreciated.
Very nice meeting you.
Salute. Well, I hope you enjoyed that interview, and will join us again for the next segment of Under the Apple Tree with Bob Kenney, when we visit another one of our great American cideries. Don't forget to like the channel and subscribe. Cheers.